players, I don't know about y'all, but in my 38 years of existence on God's green earth, I have never, ever seen anything quite like this. The GQP with this speech showed us exactly how unhinged they really are, because this lady, Katie Britt, sat there and gave us 15 different emotions in 15 minutes. Make it make sense, because it fucking doesn't. I think that she was trying to list another job on her Explore Talent page, because you cannot be serious with this speech. If I was a Megamite or a frumpy dumb tank sniffer, I would feel like Katie Britt was trying to insult my intelligence. I would think that she really feels like I am poorly educated. Like Frumpy Dump says, he loves the poorly educated, because she sat there for 10 minutes and talked about the border and securing the border. However, she says she wants to do something about it. She was a part of those negotiations on that border bill. But when Frumpy Dump came and said vote against it, she voted against the bill, even though she was a part of the negotiations. Make it make sense, because it fucking doesn't. You don't really want to do anything about it. You were a part of the negotiations. It was a bipartisan bill, and you voted against it. And you spent 10 minutes talking about how horrible things are at the border, using this young lady's death for your own interest. And you voted against something that would help with the situation. Make it make sense, because it fucking doesn't. Katie Britt talked about all these things that make her scared for her children. Her and her husband sit around their round table and talk about all these things that make them scared for their children. Do school shootings make you scared for your children? Because you didn't say anything about that. Make it make sense, because it fucking doesn't. President Biden said that inflation is at 3%. She got up there and said that inflation was at an all-time high. However, statistics show that it's at the lowest that it's ever been. For a person who is sitting in a position where they can actually do something to invoke change for the American people, the only thing that she could do is sit up and complain about President Biden. When inflation is at 3%, when President Biden has created 15 million jobs, when President Biden has brought manufacturing back to the United States of America with high-paying jobs, when President Biden has lowered the price of insulin to $35, when the Supreme Court overturned the student loan forgiveness, President Biden could have given up. But you know what his administration did? They found ways to forgive more student loan debt than any other president. The bipartisan infrastructure bill, which continues to bring money into the communities that Republicans continue to this day to brag about, but they voted against it. The child tax credit, which took thousands of children out of poverty. Katie Britt sat there and talked for 10 minutes about the southern border. And I'm going to remind you that Katie Britt was a part of the negotiations to secure the border with that bill. But guess what? When Frumpy Dump came and said, hey, go ahead and kill that, she voted against it. Now you tell me if that's in the best interest of the American people, or is that in the best interest of Frumpy to the motherfucking dump and the MAGA regime? This right here was a shit show, and I hope that MAGA wakes up, because they got to really think that you are stupid, that you would accept something like this and take it seriously. Players, put your thoughts in the comments. My opinion is not the only one that matters. I really want to know yours. I feel like President Biden did a great job. I think there are areas of improvement, of course. However, I think he did a great job touting his achievements, also discussing the things that he wants to do in the future. And I feel like he could do those things if he has a House and a Senate that will support it. If we have this MAGA regime continuing, nothing is going to get done, just like we saw for the last 3 years since the House has been controlled by the Republicans. All right, players. Again, my opinion is not the only one that matters. I want to know yours. Put your thoughts in the comments. This is Double D Mother for the Black Accurate News.